găsit la podcastul Cuvinte Potrivite. Mă numesc Daniela Doru, sunt gazda voastră și sunt trainer pentru copii. Mulțumiri infinite pentru toți cei care ne urmăriți, ne dați subscribe și aveți încredere în noi. Vă invităm de asemenea să dați în continuare subscribe paginii de YouTube Cuvinte Potrivite, pentru că astfel ajutăm comunitatea să crească. Ne dorim ca mesajele voastre să ajungă la cât mai mulți oameni care încă nu știu de noi. Am creat acest podcast cu un singur gând, să punem în scenă tehnici de comunicare pe înțelesul tuturor. Și îmi doresc ca acest podcast să fie ca o punte între oameni, unde comunicarea devine mult mai simplă, unde reușim să transmitem mesaje astfel încât să ne înțelegem, nu doar să transmitem o informație, iar informația respectivă să fie clară și plină de sens. Aici desfacem cuvinte grele, le așezăm frumos și le transformăm în mesaje care ajung direct la inimă. Pentru că în spatele fiecarei povești stă și puterea unei comunicări autentice, iar noi vrem să o facem accesibilă oricui, oriunde s-ar afla. Gata cu introducerea, astăzi sunt în compania unei invitate speciale venite tocmai din străinătate. Iar în cele ce urmează voi face o introducere scurtă a invitatei mele, urmând să călătorim timp de o oră împreună în povestea sa profesională. Așadar, discuția va fi în limba engleză. So, as I told you, I will switch to English. But before I present my guest here, I would like to make a short introduction as well in English. Let's face it, you are smarter, you are skilled, and you are experienced. So why does English still feel like the one thing holding you back? Wherever it's a big meeting, it's a presentation, or just jumping into a conversation, you hesitate. You second guess yourself, and suddenly you don't sound like you. Or you. You are not alone in this story. And the most important, you are not the problem. Let's talk about what's really going on and how to change it. Today, I'm in the company of a special guest who is currently living in Germany. I would like to introduce and meet Loretta Huether, English confidence coach. She's helping women in global careers speak with clarity, confidence, and ease. Just a little introduction, Loretta, and then I will give the mic. She is one first-degree connection. I met her on LinkedIn. I loved her mission and the clarity of her work, so I invited her to join me on the podcast. She said yes right away. So let's dive into her story. Loretta, welcome. I'm really glad that you are here. Really glad.
Thank you so much, Daniela, for that wonderful introduction. I am also happy to be here because, like you said, it's my mission to finally get these women who are very talented and in their careers speak English freely. Not think about their problems with English. They don't have problems. Yes, a little bit about me. I was raised in California, United States. Yes, I actually grew up in a bicultural family, German and American. So I had a lot about culture and music. Yeah, so at the age of 30, before I came to Germany, I was working with disabled children in the school, and I loved this job because they were special and I would help them with learning and the problems they had, and it was great. I could play music with them and they would feel better, and it was just better communication. So then I had an opportunity to come to Germany when I was 35, and I did it. I packed 2 suitcases on my guitar and I got on the plane and landed in Germany to a whole new culture. Right, so my intention was to continue working with these children, but there was a lot of bureaucracy in Germany and it just didn't work out. So then some people in the village were kind of saying, oh, you're from America, can you teach me English and blah, blah. I said, sure, I can do that, right? And then I started going to kindergartens, teaching the kids English. Yeah. And then I began in the adult education center, teaching in a classroom with adults, right? And they were German professionals and very stiff and nervous. And we all had a course book, but I soon thought, I don't like these books. You know, it's not real life and it's boring, grammar and just reading little dialogues. So I put the book aside and I just started writing on the board who I am and sharing my stories. And then they kind of lightened up and, you know, it's just about conversation. So I realized early on that textbooks are not going to help you. Mm-hmm. Maybe as a beginner or in school, sure, you need to have a little help. But when you're at a level where English is okay, but you're not feeling confident, then books are not going to help you, right? So, yeah, and then I just really got into teaching English and music and all this kind of stuff. And then it was a very funny story. A businessman in the village, he called me up and he said, oh, I need English, I have to improve my English because I have meetings in English. Could you help me out? And I said, sure. So I went to his house and we did a little English and one-on-one. And then one day he called me up and he said, you know what? I have to cancel my lesson again. I have to cancel. I'm in a hotel and I have to travel for my company. And he said, you know what? Why don't we just meet online on Zoom, right? And then we can have English anywhere I am. I said, sure. Should we meet next week? Sure. So then we made an appointment. I hung up the phone and I ran to Google and I typed in, what is Zoom, right? I had no idea online. And so I had to learn how to do computer, how to do the video and blah, blah. Anyway, so that's how it started online. Because the time was coming. And yeah, so I started teaching English online and getting in touch with people, promoting myself on LinkedIn. And the way I really got into where I'm at now, right now with women, is because I realized it's always the same story, right? It's like, I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna forget the words and my grammar, and I'm just so afraid. And I found it was more the women who were lacking confidence than the men. I've worked with men before, but I decided, I think women need an extra push anyway in their career and their life because they don't have this advantage that men have. That's how I focused on women more. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this lovely introduction. So for the people that are listening right now, we begin our conversation by exploring Loretta's personal and professional path and how she found herself coaching international women and what has shaped her unique perspective. And it's very nice because it's very important to hear from an expert like you, Loretta, that we have the same issue, let's say. We are the same, even if we are Romanian, German people, Americans, Poland, and so on. And, we have a lot of hidden barriers when we need to speak in English, even if we are at a job interview in front of our managers, directors, and other people. And it's very important to emphasize the fact that, it's okay to feel like this, but it's also important to practice and never let those emotions hurt you. Yes. So now let's dive a little deeper into the emotional and psychological side of the language and what really prevents confident, capable women from speaking freely in English. It's something many people don't expect. Why do you think even smart and experienced women still feel insecure when it comes to speaking in English in a professional settings?
Yeah, that's a very important point. Yeah. Well, they know their stuff. They're very, like you said, intelligent, competent in their language. They know exactly what they want to say. But when it comes to English, it's like they're another person, right? They can't speak freely because they think they're missing a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But actually, it's not about the English. English is not the problem. Okay. It's how they feel speaking English, and they put pressure on themselves. I have to be perfect, and they feel like, oh, I'm going to be judged. They're thinking too much about English instead of just speaking, because usually the other person you're speaking to is not a teacher who's listening to your grammar, right? And so they don't feel good speaking English. Their English is okay. No one is going to be perfect. My German is not perfect. Their English is not perfect, and that's okay, right? That does not make you a less worthy person. So you have to get out of this feeling that, oh, they're going to think my English is bad. It's not about your English. It's about how you feel about it. And of course, you need more practice, right? And a lot of women, they don't do anything, or they wait until the time comes, right? And then it's like, oh, what was that word? So it's really a matter of just getting into English like it's part of your life, in your blood. You know, not just when you need it, but just like enjoying it, reading things, listening to things in English, because there's a lot of material out there that's only in English, right? And so you have to find a way to get English in your life, in your blood, and speak, not just passive listening. Yeah, so it's not about the English, it's about how they feel speaking English, right? So, and not to put pressure on yourself. It's not a performance, you're just communicating. Mm-hmm. And you are intelligent, you know your stuff. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but it doesn't matter. Just keep going, and practice. Speak as often as you can. Yeah.
So, so there are two important indicators: fear of making mistakes, and striving for perfection are often deeply rooted.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I noted. Also, Loretta, there are often invisible forces at play, like culturally expectations, I don't know, personal judgments, other judgments of other people's, or even accent bias, let's say. Mm-hmm. In your experience, how do those elements influence the way women and also men, let's say, perceive their own English?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, this comes from childhood, comes from bad experiences. Life is like that, right? It's not always easy, and you start doubting yourself, right? So the culture thing is, a lot of cultures for women, for my culture too, my generation, it's like they don't encourage women to speak out. You know, women should be quiet and be well behaved and don't be loud. For a man, it's okay. But in a lot of cultures, women are kind of, oh, don't be so loud, why are you speaking another language? And so a lot of cultures don't support women in their own voice and expressing themselves. They're like second class to men. That's one thing. Yeah.
Okay. So I understood from you right now that so many women carry around beliefs that hold them back. Yeah. And I don't know, the most common myths you hear are like, I need a perfect accent, or I'm not fluent enough. And I also raise a hand for this because I was in this situation, and there are situations in the moment when I'm feeling like that. How do you help reframe those thoughts? I don't know what you are saying those women.
Yes, so it's a matter of looking inside yourself.
Okay.
You know, why do you care what people think about you, right? Why are you feeling insecure? Was it because, I've heard women say, oh, because my English teacher was always criticizing me and he, you know, told me I was bad at English. So it could be school experience, right? It could be, yeah, that you heard some bad things that people were saying, and you thought, okay, that's me, right? So it comes from your childhood, from a bad experience. But you have to, there comes a time in life where you have to, like you said, rethink this, rebuild this, and look, say, is it really true that people think my English is bad, or am I just imagining it? Right? Are they really listening to my grammar? But they're not. Who does that, right? So yeah, we have to. When I work with my women, it's more about more than just English. It's really letting them speak freely about why they don't feel confident, what they think. And I think most is a big thing with European women, Germans especially. They think, okay, if I'm not perfect, I'm not going to say anything. Right? I hear this all the time. It's like, did you participate in the meeting? Well, no, because I wanted to wait until my English is perfect. That's not going to work. So you have to speak anyway. Anyways, you're not going to die. Nothing's bad's going to happen. You could just find a way to get that word out some other way. So it's really about how you feel about yourself, right? You have to see yourself, I'm a good person and I have something of value to share. And it doesn't matter if my language, English, is not perfect, but I'm a great person, I have worth, and I have something to say. So it's really how you feel about yourself. So stop those negative thoughts. They're not true.
So listening to you, I realized right now, it was like my conscious mind came up, and also I realized that I missed a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Because of this, and it's important right now to look at the future and see how we can build real confidence, because the real confidence comes from our inner, let's say, side.
Yes.
And it's important, like in coaching for, I don't know, career coaching or life coaching, to address ourselves some questions, some important questions, key questions.
Yes.
And also to identify in these barriers, let's say. I think this is the first step, as I understood from you.
Yes. Yeah, I went through this too. I had a stage in my childhood was not so great. I was always told, you're no good, you're not going to amount to anything. And people believe this. You believe this, and then first thing is being aware. Oh my God, where is this belief coming from? And then you do a check. Is it true, actually? Is it really true that people are going to laugh at me? No. And besides, in this global world, you don't have to sound like a native speaker. You don't have to have the accent, because you're going to probably be speaking to other non-native speakers more than native speakers. It's very rare that you may have an American company or a British company, but usually my women are speaking to different nationalities and they all have accents, right? So even Americans have different accents. Texas or California, everyone has a regional accent. So it's not about the accent, but it is about clarity and knowing how to speak, take breath and slow down. But everyone has an accent. So that's not the issue. You don't have to sound like a native speaker. That's long gone. That's not true anymore. Yeah. And even native speakers make mistakes. I love to listen to podcasts, right? And as an English teacher, I hear the mistakes they're making, grammar mistakes, or they can't find the word they're looking for. So it's not that native speakers are perfect. They make mistakes too. So, yeah. And not every native speaker is a good speaker. Yeah.
This is a keeper sentence for me. It's a keeper. Recently, I was for a job interview, and I needed to present 30 demo training there. And while I was presenting there, I felt, my heart was beating so fast. And I don't know, my brain told me in that moment that you have to stop, because I don't know, maybe your English is not very good. But I didn't listen to my brain and then continue. And I felt pretty much proud of myself.
Yes.
Once the barrier was identified, I made this shift gears. And this is, let's say, our intention to go further and talk about how to build true confidence, what it takes to feel natural, grounded, and authentic when communicating in English. You know, your coaching, Lorette, is known for being very practical and very empowering, as you said. Can you walk us through some of the core techniques, I don't know, you use to help your clients speak more confidently? I don't know, one technique, two techniques, something you can share with us here in this hour spent together.
Sure. Well, my main thing, like I said, I don't use books, is like role playing, right? Or being in a situation where you're really gonna need like an interview or something, or, doing a training. So let's do this, let's, practice this. So really doing a role play. I play like, okay, I'm your student, or I'm the one interviewing you. So a lot of realistic, real world situations, not sitting there doing grammar. So really doing that, but not just job related, because it's not just about job, right? Because you're speaking to humans, right? And I had an example I did a role play with one of my students. She's wonderful, intelligent, and she also does trainings, and she works also with HR, and she had a situation where she had to fire somebody, right? Not because the company was in a financial situation. So, and she talked about it, and this is the part where you have to know the emotions of English too, or the emotional words, because how do you tell someone in English that, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to let you go and blah, blah. So it's not just about doing an interview. You also have to do some kind of emotional conversations with your people. So it's not just about, okay, we're going to practice an interview, we're going to do this and do that. It's also about just having deep conversations about feelings, like how would you feel if you were being fired, right? Or whatever. So we have a lot of deep conversations, and that's where all the vocabulary comes up. Okay, how do I say this? How do I say that? And so that's where I can really support them, because I help them with the vocabulary and just practice how you communicate with the person on a personal level, not just work, also personal. So my technique is through conversation, naturally broadening your vocabulary and getting the sentence structure, the grammar, that comes naturally with speaking, right? And I'm talking about the future, and then I don't sit there and correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'll take notes and I'll listen to it, and then maybe at the end we'll talk about, okay, well, I would have said this like that, but I let them speak freely. Well, that's my technique, is just to let them speak without feeling they're being watched and judged, right? I'm there to support them. So my thing is just let them speak, listen, and do some part of the technical stuff in English, but they get better just with confidence. They find the words somehow. So that's my technique, speaking freely and really doing the stuff that you need in English and deep conversations.
So, real transformation is incredible, inspiring, as you said, and takes a lot, because you share this success story with your client, with someone you have worked with, because it's very important to understand also the practical examples and also the stories. And it's very important to make this powerful shift in our mind, because here the mindset, let's say, is the main barrier or issue in practice and build our confidence. And I kept with me the fact that it's important to speak freely, not only using perfect grammar or big words in order to express our opinions. And also, even if it is a presentation, a big meeting, or a job interview, I know that preparation, it's a speech on the stage, I know the preparation makes a huge difference, to know your audience, to know your content, to repeat for almost 3 times, and also let's say to repeat again if you feel you are insecure. What strategies do you recommend for getting mentally and also linguistically ready for high stakes conversation? If there are, I don't know, some practical recommendation for getting mentally
Sure. Okay.
ready.
Well, first of all, it doesn't help to like an hour before try to read something and memorize. That doesn't help. On the day, on the morning, you just have to be yourself and do your best, right? But before that, yes, you sure have to sort your thoughts, right? So you might want to write it down. Okay, what do I want to say? You know, my introduction, the middle part, the ending, and be prepared for questions, right? So really think about it. You know what you're going to be doing in your own language, right? So have a plan and know what you're going to talk about, most of all, right? And then I would recommend just speaking. Look out the window, pretend that that's your audience, and just speak out loud. Speak out loud, practice it. Maybe even record yourself and say, do I sound flat? Am I too quiet? Or am I too loud? Am I talking too fast? So just get a feel for how you sound. I know people don't like to hear themselves speaking, but it is very important because you'll find out a lot of things. Am I speaking too fast? You know, where am I hesitating? Is it because the words are not coming? Am I speaking loud enough? So recording yourself and just without looking, just talk about what you're going to say. Do just the beginning, introducing yourself. Okay, I got that. Then do the middle part. Yeah, so, and also mental preparation, like you said. You know, imagine you're talking to them and you're finished. Yay, and you did a fine job. And always, you know, give yourself a pat on the back. You know, so I like to, the same thing when I have a performance with singing or guitar, right? Or I have to learn a new song. I have my notes in front of me and I try to memorize, but then I look away and try to do it without looking. So it's like you have to go back and forth. Of course you have to say, okay, this is what I'm gonna say, but then try saying it freely without looking. Yeah, and so imagine the end. You're finished, you did it, and you survived. Take a deep breath and yeah. So don't wait till the last minute to try to memorize something. Kind of prepare beforehand, speak out loud, and most important, be yourself. You know, don't pretend I have to be this professional person. If you're kind of a easygoing kind of woman, then be easygoing. If you're funny, you know, you can be loose. And if you feel like, okay, you like to be serious, then be serious. But don't try to be somebody you're not. People appreciate seeing a real human. And that loosens up the whole atmosphere. If you can just come in there and be yourself, don't take your time. Yeah. So a little bit of mental and a little bit of, okay, physical English. That'll be okay then. It'll all be okay.
It's a very refreshing, let's say, words that it will be okay.
Yes.
And imagine that in the end of your speech or your job interview or a presentation, you will be okay. It's very important to have this in mind. And in many books, I learned a lot of things about how we can keep our confidence and also to look to the destination, to look at the end of our action and to see also the end, to imagine the end and also to practice our let's say content or whatever we had in front of us.
Yes.
In order to practice, I don't know, to gain more vocabulary, it's important to read books every day. I don't know, to speak with our family, our friends, a little 10 minutes per day. What do you recommend in this way? I don't know, one thing. I don't know if you would recommend one thing to do in order to gain more vocabulary.
Well, yes, people learn differently, right? Like I have a woman, I'd say, okay, well, write about this topic. No, I hate writing. Okay, well, don't write then. Don't force yourself to do something that you don't enjoy. And I said, well, what do you enjoy? Well, I like listening to podcasts. Okay, so all right. So I love podcasts too. So I recommended her to Mel Robbins. I don't know if you know her, to listen to that. And she came back and she said, you know what? I understood almost every single word. And she was so happy and proud of herself. And now she's just a podcast freak. See, she found her way of listening, you know, and getting the words that way instead of writing. So, and a lot of people like to read, you know, for vocabulary. And of course, yeah, reading is one of the best ways, but you have to read the right stuff. You know, you can't read a book that's like old-fashioned English or too complicated, because you're just going to be frustrated. And not too easy, because you want to be a little bit challenged. So kind of middle ground. Yeah, read and listen to things that are totally interesting for you. You know, if you love to cook, then don't read books about politics or whatever. So really what you enjoy, and maybe like a book or story that you read in your own language, you know, that you know the idea, the story, and then try that in English. But always choose something that you're really passionate about. Don't just do dry, boring, okay, I'm reading to learn English. That's not fun, right? So yeah, for vocabulary, we'd be listening to podcasts, but not too difficult, right? So yeah, I could help people find the right podcast, and reading. That's the best way for vocabulary. But don't just read the vocabulary, you have to try to speak it. Right? Yes. So, and not just the word, the whole sentence, and repeat it, you know, and get that tone going. So read and listen, but also always speak, right? So you have to, you know, you read out loud, maybe a paragraph, read out loud. And if you don't know the pronunciation, you can help yourself a little bit on, you know, Google or whatever, help you out.
Yes.
But read even if you're not sure, because your brain has to get used to you speaking, or else they're going to think, why are you speaking English? That's really strange. No, stop it. And you're putting your brain in confusion. So you have to speak regularly. So your brain says, okay, yeah, you speak English. I understand now. I won't panic when you start speaking English. So it's a brain thing too. So read, listen to podcasts, and read out loud. Yes.
So practice.
Yeah.
And speak out loud, not just, let's say, in your mind, let's say.
Exactly. That's the thing, because they all say, I understand, or I can read everything, understand everything I can read, but when it comes to speaking, I know the words, but they don't come out, because your brain is not used to it. That's why you have to speak. That's how it is. Like you said, maybe a friend or something, or one time I was in this English classroom, and we had an intensive class from 9 in the morning until 4 p.m., 5 days, and it's very exhausting. But after the last day, you know, we always had a little party and bring food. And I said, okay, let's do this. Pretend that you don't speak German and call a pizzeria and ask them, you know, how much a pizza is in English, right? That they spoke German too, but you can have little games like pretend that you're an English speaker and call somebody, right? Or write a comment on a post or something in English. Just not just practice, it's like really living it. Yeah. So
Yes. Right now, while you are speaking, I realize that confidence doesn't have to come all at once. No. This is the day one. You need to be ready to learn all, and then tomorrow when you have the job interview or the presentation, you have to be perfect. No, it starts with small, intentional steps.
Like I had one woman I work with. She's like, she has to have meetings now online twice a week with sometimes English, sometimes not, and she's not sure. And I said, well, you know, just start with one sentence, like, good morning, how are you doing? Right? So like, she didn't say anything in the meeting, and I said, just try one sentence, right? And she did. She said, okay, I did it, and there was no problem. So like you said, start small. You know, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just, you know, my goal is to say one sentence at least, or ask a question. You know, like you start small. You don't have to do everything at once. And each time it gets much easier, right? And be yourself. Yes.
Yes. Thinking of it, I'm a bit curious, and this is a question that come up with my mind right now. Let's zoom out a bit. When you think about success in a global career, you know, because right now we have this word on our mouth, success, which says you have to be successful, you have to keep it up in high standards. When you think about success in a global career, what does that really mean to you beyond language fluency or job titles? I think it's a personal question, but I would like to hear also, and I'm curious to hear also your perspective, because you work with so many women all over the places, and I think this word is very important to position in this let's say conversation.
Well, I think first of all, success in a career is that you're passionate about what you're doing, right? You're here on this earth to follow your passion, right? And it's important to have the right career, right? Not just like a lot of people do what their parents want them to do or what they studied, and to realize, okay, is this the right path in my life? And if it is, then you're going to be doing this career with your passion and without any doubt, right? Whether it's in English or your own native language, because your mission maybe is to help people. Usually, I mean, we're all here to help each other some way with a service or whatever. So success for me, I mean, is not, okay, I want to earn so much money, or I want a big house. It's just, at the end of the day, feeling good about my day, what I did, and looking forward to the next day, right? Of course, you're going to have some days that you don't feel so good, but getting up and looking forward to what you're doing. I hear a lot of people complaining about their work, right? Oh, I need a vacation. You know, all I hear is I need a vacation. And I think for myself, I don't need a vacation because I'm not under stress because I'm doing what I love. So if you're at this point where you think, oh, I have to get away from work, I need to get away, have a vacation, then I don't know, maybe you're in the wrong place. Of course, we want a vacation, but if your career is your passion, then you're on the right path. That's your life, right? And of course, you want to be healthy and you have your family, so you have to have a good balance. So career success for me is doing what you love to do. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you very much, Loretta. It was very meaningful to hear you like that, speaking like that. And I would like to end our conversation because we begin to close our conversation. But before we wrap up, I would like also to make sure that our audience knows how they can continue learning from and connecting with you, because you are very good in what you do and you are an expert and a professional woman. For those who want to follow your work or get in touch, where can they find you online and what's the best way to reach out?
Thanks so much for asking. So yeah, the best way to get in touch with me would be on LinkedIn. You know, I guess you maybe put in your notes, Loretta Huether. Yeah, LinkedIn. And I also want to offer all your listeners today a special offer. I have a special membership for professional women who we get together every 2 weeks and we have conversations and talk about their jobs in English or just have very meaningful conversations. I would like to offer you 14 days free trial for this membership. You can come in and check it out. And if you'd like to stay and join us, that's fine. And I think the best thing we could do now is just to get on a nice conversation and talk about where you are right now, right? And how I can support you, right? It's no pressure. If you're ready to kind of okay, I want more confidence in English, then we can just talk about it, right? So DM me on LinkedIn, and we can just have a little conversation, get on a call, and I can maybe make some suggestions what you could do, and we can see if I can support you in any way. Yeah.
Do you have also, I don't know, a website, any free resources, small guides or something like that I think people can know you better? I don't know if there is any of our listeners would like.
At the moment, I'm working on my website, but on my LinkedIn profile, I have a special guide for professional women and confident English, so you can download this free guide, and it also has an audio with it to listen. So talks about building up your confidence. Yeah.
Yes. I saw there a lot of testimonials from your clients, and it was very nice to hear them.
Yeah, it's just amazing the transformations they've made.
Yes.
I've had one woman, she hadn't spoken English for like 20 years and was always saying no to opportunities, right? And she wouldn't apply for a new role because, okay, the interview is in English. So, but now she's doing it and she's having fun and she's like, no problem, everyday English. So, yeah, that's great to see these transformations. Yeah.
Yes. The real transformation is really inspiring for us, for ourselves, and also for others.
Yeah, and you can do it, you can do it.
Yes, you can do it. And I would like to close this episode, because that brings us to the end of today's episode with this. You can say it again, repeat, to hear from your side, from your mouth. So what you said earlier. So you can do it.
Yes, you can do it.
You can do it, Loretta. Yes.
Love yourself, speak freely. If your English is not perfect, you're a wonderful person. You have so much you can give to the world. Don't let the stupid English language hold you back, right? It's just another language. Be yourself, help your people that you want to help, and go for it. Yeah, and always say, I did a good job today. I tried. Yes, you can do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, because today you are here with me.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Also. And, we will keep in touch also.
Yes.
And if our listeners will have questions or clarifications or, I don't know, other opinions, they are welcome to address them.
And don't be shy. I won't fight you.
Even if direct to me or to you, or I don't know, on YouTube when I will load this episode. Sure. So again, Loretta, thank you so much. Yeah. And for all of you, I hope this conversation gave you a fresh perspective, a bit of inspiration, and maybe the most important, the courage to take one more step toward feeling confident in English. Yes. Together with Loretta, we explored, I wrote here, the hidden barriers, the pressure to be perfect, and the importance of finding your real voice. Yes. Because you are not just a language, you are not yes, but in how you show up in the world. Yes. And if this episode resonates with you, feel free to share with someone who might need to hear it too. And sometimes one conversation is all it takes to shift something inside. Exactly. Just be good to yourself, love yourself. It's okay. There's nothing you can't do. Yes, it's not. So much, Daniela. Yes, it's not the end of the world that you not pronunciation a word, I don't know, a sentence, or let's say something like that. So this is your second language. You didn't learn this language when you were a kid. I had that advantage, right? So it's the same with me in German. I know I won't be perfect, but that's okay.
I'm still a good person, right? And you're still a good person, even if your English is not perfect. It doesn't matter. Just keep trying.
Thank you very much, Loretta, again. Dragilor, mulțumesc încă o dată pentru că ați fost alături de noi și îmi doresc din toată inima ca acest episod să vă dea această dorință de a practica în continuare limba engleză și nu numai, și alte limbi, pentru că, de fapt, este vorba despre încrederea pe care noi ne-o acordăm nouă atunci când ne arătăm vocea celorlalți. Și asta e valabil și pentru discursurile sau pentru întâlnirile din limba română. Mulțumesc foarte mult pentru că ați stat cu noi în acest episod. Apreciez toată încrederea voastră și până data viitoare, alegeți-vă cuvintele cu înțelepciune. Goodbye!
Bye bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye!